Stop me if you've heard this one before. A sun-drenched, palm tree-lined team from South Florida skates into late June, looking less like a hockey club and more like a force of nature. If the Florida Panthers aren't a bona fide dynasty yet, they are one thunderous stride away. 3 straight years of deep playoff runs, 2 consecutive trips to the Stanley Cup Final, and now they're cradling Lord Stanley as if it were their birthright, this time without even giving the opposition a pulse check's chance. That begs the question every other franchise hates to ask. Who, exactly, is going to stop them from doing it all over again next spring? Yes, a few pillars stand contractless at this very moment, Conn Smythe-winning wrecking ball Sam Bennett among them, but tell me, who in that room is eager to jump ship when the ride is this electrifying? Bennett's deal can be massaged. Marchand's return feels inevitable the moment you watch him grin under confetti. Truth be told, I'd have tossed the Smythe at Marchand myself after that clinic he put on in the final, with Sergei Bobrovsky as my runner-up. How many times did we crack open a post-game video with some version of, Edmonton started hot, but Bob was a brick wall, and that was that? The story of these playoffs could be summarized in a single sentence. Give Florida a lead, and they'll squeeze the oxygen out of you. That's the seismic difference between this year and last. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, hockey's version of a nuclear duo, weren't just contained, they were outscored, outchanced, out-everythinged. Analytics looked like a horror film for Oilers fans, the credit belonging largely to Florida's shutdown assassins Alexander Barkov and Sam Reinhart. I've seen this movie before. Flashback to Game 7 against Toronto. Panthers grab the lead, bolt every door, and punish every miscue. By the third period, you're fighting the urge to change the channel, except you can't because some part of you hopes for a miracle equalizer that never comes. Speaking of stomach-turning déjà vu, Edmonton supporters must feel downright ill. Another prime year slips through the fingers. Yes, tongue firmly in cheek, I'm talking about Corey Perry's prime. In fairness, Perry was a live wire all postseason, but early disaster set the tone here. For the Evan Bouchard critics, the roller coaster reached another stomach-dropping plunge when Reinhart pilfered the puck, roared in alone, and beat Stuart Skinner with a shot the Oilers goalie has to snare in his sleep. Skinner looked rattled from Jump Street. Edmonton needs a bona fide #1 netminder. Skinner, talented though he is, hasn't proven to be that guy on the game's grandest stage. As the first period expired, Florida applied the coup de grace. Matthew Tkachuk, battling some cryptic injury he teased postgame, whistled one glove side, 2-0. Right there, I would have laid 50 grand on a Panthers win without blinking. I've lived that script as a Rangers fan during the Henrik Lundqvist era. You just know, deep in your chest, that the comeback isn't coming. You wander to the fridge, pray for a goal notification, but it never lights up. Power plays? Forget it. Aside from Patrick Kane's 10-minute outburst near the horn, each team drew a single, offsetting minor. Late in the second, Skinner looked like he'd alt-tabbed to change his YouTube playlist. A harmless deflection ricocheted off him, sat gift-wrapped in the blue paint, and Reinhart popped it home for a second. Toss in 2 empty netters later for a 4-goal night, and the box score feels downright cruel. The Oilers snuck one consolation tally, but who's framing that puck? A game and a series drained of suspense. When the handshake line ended, Corey Perry's jaw probably felt heavier than his legs. 5 Cup Final losses in 6 seasons, a stat so brutal it borders on parody. For neutral fans, this became one of the sleepiest finals in recent memory, not because hockey lost its spark, but because Florida smothered it with unrelenting precision. Dominance can look dull when you're on the wrong side of it. None of that diminishes the accomplishment. The Panthers are terrifyingly complete, and the league's other 31 teams must spend the summer scheming for vulnerabilities that might not exist. While we're on summer plans, quick reminder, I'm still hooked on Rate Game, the letterboxed IMDb Goodreads of sports. I slapped a 5.9 on this clincher. The skill was elite, the entertainment value, less so. Now the ice melts and the EC hockey offseason officially begins. I've got ambitious Patreon projects cooking, roster deconstruction videos, trade machine mayhem, the whole workshop. Trust me, we won't hibernate long. A Mitch Marner deep dive could land in your feed as soon as tomorrow. Until then, hats off to Sunrise, Florida. Enjoy every sun-soaked second with the Cup.